Good evening, YTPC. Filigo Pepper coming down from Singapore. It's the 21st of April, around 11 p.m. Had a long day of work, but I decided that I wanted to get this review done with tobacco that I'm smoking. This one I opened about 2 years ago, but this thing is kind of old actually. This was the date I bought it, 22nd of June 17, and the blend that I will be reviewing today is drumroll. It's a FVF, and we all know what that is. Samuel Gawith Full Virginia Flake. Yeah, this one's quite old. Bought it, 2017. I was in the army at the time, but yeah, never really opened it. But here it is. Smell a lot of fermentation, some vinegar. Yeah, he had a lot of grass, and there's some fruity flavors. Sometimes when I open it, I can barely detect anything. Sometimes I detect something else, but it's almost very different. Yeah. So that's pretty much for the tin note of this tobacco. Yeah, and yeah, it's a fairly straightforward smelling tobacco. Yeah, nothing too special and anything, but here's how the flakes look like. Yeah, these are like really thick flakes. Yeah, very thick, medium-sized flakes. I mean, yeah, kind of thin in the cut, but when you hold them, you feel like they are very like sturdy. You know, they don't like disintegrate and stuff easily. You gotta like rub them out, compared to like Cornell and Deal flakes or Newminster 400. That one is like you're just shaking the jar and it breaks apart by itself. This one's different. Yeah, slightly different. And if you can see these, yeah, I don't think you can see the crystals in them. I can see a little bit, but when I opened it, I saw some, and like judging by how long it's set in the jar, I mean in the tin itself, when I open it's not a surprise that there will be some sugar crystals. Yeah, I think the reason why it kind of like it stays pretty sturdy is pretty much because of the glycerine, I guess. Let me just shift the camera a little bit. So far video's doing well. I had to retake a couple of times. Have this pillar, so like I can just like lie down and smoke later, you know, just lean on it and smoke. And it's quite wet. It's been raining the past couple of days, but it's fine. We make do with what we got. Yeah, speaking of the flakes, I feel like there's glycerine in it, like I stated earlier, and yeah, that's why they are all very sturdy. And I think I will be, let me see, which one shall I rub out? I kind of feel like I want to rub this out because this feels like it's falling apart. Yeah, it's begging to be rubbed out. So yeah, I got it, but like I thought I had 4 flakes. Turns out when I looked even more, I had like 5. So yeah, good on me. So yeah, I will just use this. I have actually a notebook of all my notes written down here, trying to get a little bit organized, but I noticed that after a long day I kind of forgot my pen if I wanted to write extra notes. Yeah, I've got ADHD and stuff, and I'm not medicated, but I feel like I'm doing better without the medications. Never ever was medicated for ADHD. I was like officially diagnosed, got extra timing for like writing exams and stuff, and even downgraded my national service vocation, so I don't have to go into like combat rules and stuff. It's always the marching. Yeah, I hate marching. Yeah, but anyways, it is what it is. So here I am rubbing it out. So let me just rub it out a little bit more thin, not waste your time and everything. I'll pack it and I'll let you know the rest of what's in this, one of my thoughts in this blend. Yeah. here on a bit. Right, it's 8 minutes to 12. That means it's 8 minutes to lights out. So yeah. Okay, so we covered the thinner on the presentation. I got my notes down here, most of it. So let's take a look at the room note. To be honest, I got no idea. Room note, it's pretty much, I don't know. Nobody has complained, so it's unknown. So I'm gonna put it as tolerable. And then we'll look at the mechanics. See, this is where it gets very tricky. The thing is, since this pipe is, this tobacco is very thick, like you see in the presentation, it's quite hard to rub out. And even when you rub out using the Hoppington method, you still have to either rub out some of the thicker chunks out, or they're just not rubbable and you just have to toss them out because like they are just little twigs and branches, and it's best that they are not packed into the pipe. You will make the burn slightly difficult, and then keeping it lit is more hard. And thanks to it being a Samuel Gawith blend, that means it's wet. So keeping it lit, and like sometimes the charring lights, you need more charring lights than usual, and you need more relights than usual as compared to a typical Peterson or like a STG kind of tobacco, or even a McBaron tobacco. This tobacco, Samuel Gawith line, is in and of itself is quite tough to keep lit or light up, and that's what makes the mechanics of it pretty tough. Yeah, quite just a little challenging to rub out, quite challenging to keep it lit. Requires a couple of charring lights, more than usual charring lights. That's about it. For tongue bite, surprisingly this one, the tongue bite is almost like non-existent. Yes, sometimes there is. You can bite if you push too far, but if you have proper cadence, and since it requires a couple of relights, you don't keep on relighting it, it's doesn't really bite me. So yeah, regarding the tongue bite, it's not there. And moving on to the nicotine. The nicotine is I don't know, don't really feel much of a nicotine hit from it, so I would just say medium, I guess. And finally, we're going off to the flavor. The flavor of this tobacco is sorry, I'm trying so hard to keep this thing lit. Just now, all the while, I was like, I'm halfway through this bowl, but the previous half, it was so easy to keep it lit. But now it's pretty hard. I'd say this is almost like in a more richer grade of full, Oleg Golden Slice and Capstan, because Capstan and Oleg Golden Slice is much more like the grassy, really bright and very citrusy kind of thing. This one is not there. I mean, it is really grassy, which is why I like it, but there is an absence of a little bit of citrus. There's not much citrus as compared to there's not much citrus as compared to the Oleg Golden Slice. Yeah, so there's not much citrus as compared to the Oleg Golden Slice. Kind of losing my self down here. Yeah. Why are the voices around? It's almost 12. God damn. So anyways, it's time I get this done over with. Another note is this thing is very fruity. It feels rich. It almost has like a similar taste profile of rich dark flake from Germain's. Yes, one of my all-time favorite blend, rich dark flake, Germain's. And yeah, it has the fruity flavor of rich dark flake from Jermaine's. However, like, it doesn't has like the dessert kind of a profile, or like the Airborne Forest cake like I mentioned in Jermaine's rich dark flake. But it would still, like, if let's say tomorrow Jermaine rich dark flake were to go out of stock, I would say that the next best thing, or like the closest thing I would look for, is full Virginia flake. Yes, not the exact same thing, but close enough. Just close enough. At least I would say it would meet me about 50 to 60%. So that's pretty good as it is. Of course, the lighting and the mechanics is a pain compared to rich dark flake. I mean, rich dark flake is a little bit challenging, but it's still way better than Samuel Gawith flakes. And finally, for the verdict, I would give this about 3.5 stars, mainly because the taste is nice, though the mechanics and is quite of a pain. I would say there's no tongue bite, so that's a win. And I really like the smell. Nobody's complaining to me about the room note, so all of those things are a win. The only bad thing about it is that it comes really moist. It needs drying time. So my only advice is to pack it light and not pack it too tight. Try to pack it as light as possible, not too compact, so it won't give you much. You still have a little bit of leeway with the temping and everything. That's the only advice I can give for this. I don't know how do some people do, but some people told me that also to pack it lightly, not too tight. Pack it looser than usual, you'll be fine. Yeah. So yes, anyways, that is pretty much what sums up for my review of full Virginia flake. And yeah, I think it's best I leave this place, and it's kind of getting late. I'll walk back to my estate, and yeah, see y'all. Hope y'all have a good evening, and hope everything's well with y'all. Take care, guys. Goodbye.